Okay, so the short answer is hell no. But let's talk about why. Let's assume that you are in your 30s, you're married, you probably have 2 kids, and you're in a job that's okay, but it could be better. It could be a way better job. But the jobs or promotions that you want all require a bachelor's degree. So you've asked yourself, should I go back to college? But when you think about that, you feel afraid because back in high school, you didn't really enjoy it. And maybe you tried college and you dropped out, or maybe you were just like, college isn't for me, and so you never even attempted. But now you realize, to advance in my career, I need that degree. But there's fear there because what if you fail? What if you waste time, waste money? And worst of all, what if you feel awkward in a room full of 18-year-olds? I get it. It's a tough decision to make, and I have so much respect for you because you obviously care about leveling yourself up, taking care of your family, making a difference with your career, and setting a good example for your kids. So to help you break past this mental block, I'm going to list 5 lies that you're probably telling yourself, and I'm going to tell you why they're wrong. I failed at school before, and therefore I'm going to fail again. This one is ridiculous. Sure, maybe you goofed off in high school or college, but you had different priorities back then. Maybe you didn't find it interesting. Maybe you blew off classes or didn't want to study, or maybe you cared more about your after-school job. But so what? That was you like a decade ago. You're not that same person. You have put in the work at a job. You have stayed committed in a relationship. You have kids that you're raising. Like, you are a very different person. And you're also a person who has put in the work, committed to things, and gotten them done. Are you honestly going to say that because 18-year-old you couldn't do it, that 30-something you can't do it? Like, there are so many things that 30-year-old you is doing and has done that 18-year-old you would never have dreamed of. Please, don't let the ghost of your immature past haunt you. You're a different person, and you're ready for college. I'm too old for college. This is one of the craziest things people say. Like, I've literally had students in my class who were 80 years old. And also, don't you think that because you're older, you're more prepared to learn? Like, you have more of a context for life, you have more motivation, you have more reason to learn. Like, you're just better equipped and prepared to go to college. I honestly don't know why people think that 18 years old is the perfect age to go to college. Most of my adult students who are over the age of 30, they almost always are the ones who are doing the best on homework, asking the best questions, and getting things in on time. They're more mature, they have more of a practiced work ethic, they have more of a sense of responsibility. Like, they're just typically better at college than 18-year-olds. So honestly, it doesn't matter how old you are. It mostly is just about whether you're willing to put the work in and whether you're mature enough to be able to handle it. I don't have time to go to college. You think this because you're thinking of a traditional model of college, but college has changed. And these days, you don't have to sit in a classroom for hours on end, sign up for 5 classes every semester, and quit your day job to be able to go to college. There are so many schedule flexible ways to do college that it's honestly insane. Like, there's online college, there's self-paced courses, there's night courses, there's residencies. And honestly, if you're worried about the time, probably the best fit for you is going to be competency-based learning, where you pay a certain amount of money for a certain amount of time, and then during that time, you do whatever courses and learning you're able to do whenever you're able to do it. So there's no set homework time, and there's no assignments due at specific times. You just work when you're able to. And so a school like Western Governors University or University of Maine at Presque Isle could be a really good fit for you. If you can put in 5 to 10 hours a week, you can make progress towards your college degree. I'm not smart enough for college. Guys, this one makes no sense. If a bunch of 18-year-olds can do it, why wouldn't you be able to? I'm not saying 18-year-olds are dumb, but they're dealing with a lot of distractions that take up important brain power. Hormones, dating, their quarter-life crisis, campus activities, campus sports, also being a little bit dumb. So if they can do it, why wouldn't you be able to? Plus, honestly, college is getting easier. Back in 1983, the average GPA was 2.8, but just a few years ago, that had come up all the way to a 3.2. Plus, colleges are starting to see themselves, especially online ones, are starting to see themselves more as a business, and a business succeeds when its clients succeed. And so a lot of colleges offer tutoring services, accessibility help, and they have a huge emphasis with their faculty on making sure that students are supported. I'm not saying that it won't be frustrating at times, that it won't be difficult, or that you'll get perfect grades, but believe me, college is very doable. It's more about following instructions and learning than it is about being naturally brilliant. I mean, anyone could fail out of a chemistry program because chemistry is the devil, but as long as you're asking questions, working hard, following instructions, you're gonna do great. It will be too awkward to be the only 30-year-old in a class full of 18-year-olds. On one hand, this isn't even super relevant because you'll probably take online classes, but on the other hand, this is true, but only in your head. I've taught at least 3 different college classes where there was one 30-plus-year-old and everybody else was super young, and the only person who can make that awkward is you. Let me give an example of 3 of those students. Nathan was awesome. He was just under 40, and he was very charismatic, chill, laid back. He would crack jokes, and he would also ask the questions that the other students were too afraid to ask because they thought it would, make them look dumb. And so everybody really looked up to him. He would encourage other people, ask them questions about their life, and they would even hang out after class together. Bert was another one of my adult students. He was former military. He was a little bit quiet, a little bit gruff, and I could tell that he felt awkward about being the oldest person in the classroom. But here's the thing. He was a really thoughtful person who had some really serious life experience. And when he spoke, he only really said stuff that he had really thought through, and the other students picked up on that, and when he spoke, the room got so quiet, and they listened to him so intently. The third student was Martha, and she's kind of a bad example because, she definitely felt awkward about being the oldest person in the room, but instead of doing what the other 2 did, which was, to be really, really thoughtful or to be really, really friendly, she would just reference her age a lot and would say things like, well, you'll understand that when you're older, and kind of brush aside what other people said about their life experience because she was older and so she knew what was going on. She felt awkward and she expressed that in this need to be treated a certain way, and so she's honestly the one who made the class awkward. So I think the secret to the situation not being awkward in a classroom full of 18-year-olds is just to be confident in who you are and to accept the fact that you're a 30-year-old in a college classroom with a bunch of 18-year-olds. Don't go in there with anything to prove. Go in there to meet people, to learn something, and to have fun. The 18-year-olds are kind of nervous around you because they sort of feel like this is their world, and they worry that when somebody else who's older comes in, they might disapprove of them and they might ruin some of the fun. So join the fun. And if you ever do find yourself feeling awkward, the quick, easy, 100% of the time it works fix is just to ask somebody else a question about themselves. Not only will that defeat the awkwardness, but you might actually even become kind of popular. Guys, please don't let your age keep you from finding a better life. If you want help finding a college or a major or building a degree plan, please set up a consultation with me at the link down below. My specialty is getting people graduated quickly and inexpensively, and I regularly save people 2 years and $10,000 in just a 45-minute meeting. And I'd love to help you. Thanks for watching and happy hacking.